Hey guys, looks like we're all having to adapt to our new environment quicker than maybe we're used to. I'm Daniel Norton, photographer here in New York. I make videos like this about philosophy, about technique, about photography in general. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. So I often talk about how if you're going to be a professional photographer or even just a photographer in general and you want to kind of keep moving forward, you've always got to adapt and learn new skills and kind of keep moving forward, for lack of a better way to say it. And a situation like this, what's going on in the world, where we're all kind of having to work in different environments, maybe not have the access to the things we had before, we're having to adapt really quickly. And this is kind of a rapid example of what you kind of need to do. And what I'm finding to be super interesting for me is, while I, of course, have been live streaming for a long time, relatively speaking, my situation in which I do it now is much different. Live streaming and recording these things. When I was originally started being a host for Adorama, we had a crew, right? I had a crew that shot all the videos and did all the editing, and and they're amazing. But then as time went on and I became more of a freelance host, like now I do that stuff myself. So of course I had to adapt in order to keep it going. And now, but I still had access to all my studio and models I could work with in situations where I was just free to do whatever. Now I'm, like many of you, at home. If you saw my last video, which came out yesterday, I kind of rearranged my workspace, my office, as it would be in my house, to be better for this kind of stuff. So this is it's not my first one exactly doing it from this position, but my first one all set up. And by the way, if you're usually a regular follower, I post maybe once a week, whatever. I'll be posting a lot more. They're going to be shorter videos, so this will be short. But I want to stay in contact more. I want to keep this conversation going because let's talk. This is the opportunity to do a lot more of these videos because I'm here, and now that I'm set up, I can actually do them pretty easily. So I want to take lots of questions, try to answer things I can that I can do with what I have around me as far as facility. Obviously, I can't demonstrate a lot of stuff, although I have some equipment here, and I will be at some point going into Manhattan to the studio. I will keep you updated on that, just to get some stuff that I don't have. If this is going to be extended, I need some things, so I'm going to have to venture out and do that. So we'll see how that works out. I'm trying to, as most people probably are that are in these situations, trying to stay, safe and distant from people. So we'll see how that works out. I'll probably be driving in the middle of the night. Anyways, that's a whole side thing. But what I was just thinking about as I was adjusting this, so I've got, as I pointed out in the other video, that I pulled it over so you guys could see it. I'm using this blue snowball microphone, which I've used for quite a bit when I do some like video conferencing and stuff online, and I just kind of used my webcam, and it didn't look that good, but it sounded good because I had a good microphone. But what I'm finding with this setup with the Nikon is that probably, I don't know if it's because of the way it's being translated through the cam link or the way the microphone interacts or blah blah blah, but the audio is not lining up perfectly. So like in this, it should be good because I'm post-processing and I'm sliding it over a little bit. I actually put I'm using OBS. So again, start thinking about questions you might want to ask, because I might just say words and you might be like, huh? And I'll explain them more deeply in videos coming forward if you have questions about them. I'm using a thing called OBS. You can download it. I recommend you do if you want to start broadcasting. And if you had any intention to ever do this kind of stuff and you just didn't do it now, right? We're here, right? Let's get more people doing this. But anyways, OBS has a way to put a delay into it or whatever, or kind of to handle that. So it's, I've corrected it. But when I'm using something like Zoom or, Skype or those kind of things, Discord, where I'm just talking, my mouth is not lining up with with the words I'm saying. Oftentimes my brain doesn't line up with the words I'm saying, but my mouth not lining up is not a good thing. So I've been working out. So what it made me think of is that we pick up skills as we go through life or through our careers that you didn't think maybe you'd ever use, or ever learn when you first started doing that thing. When I first started doing photography, there's a lot of things I didn't think I would do. But it turns out, being in charge of the creative director at Adorama during the certain period of time, and also starting the whole on-set thing, and in the in-store demos at Adorama, I learned a bit about video, of course, and about audio, because we did a great it was one of my favorite things that I've done for Adorama. Although it's not on Adorama, I will put the link to it. It's actually here on this site, and maybe you haven't seen it. I'm a big fan of NPR's Tiny Desk Concerts, where they basically bring somebody in. If you've never seen these and you have time on your hand, listen to them. They're awesome. They basically bring musicians or bands or whatever into their office, and they literally just play there super stripped down usually. And I was watching the video because I always listen to them, but I was watching videos of them, and I saw that it looked like they just had one microphone. So I started doing research, and I really started learning about microphones because I wanted to try to do something like that. And we did it in the store, and the amazing musician Brian Dunn came in, and he performed for us. If anybody's ever been to the Adorama store, this was literally in the middle of a busy day, when the store was full of people and everything, and I think it sounds pretty darn good. So I think we did a good job. Listen to that if you get some time on your hands. But that allowed me to learn about microphones a bit. So I know a little bit about audio, enough to be dangerous, as they say. So I've been messing with it, and I've tried a bunch of different things. And what I realized was that if I plug any audio source directly into my Nikon, everything's fine, because it's all coming in through the same, I guess, USB 3 port or Thunderbolt, whatever it is. So I had to work out a few different things. I tried a bunch of different mics because at first I thought maybe it was the blue mic giving me a problem. Wasn't, So what I ended up doing, so my solution temporarily, because I have ordered a few things from Adorama so I can make it a little bit tighter, is I could just use the lavalier mic. If you guys follow Seth Miranda, if you don't, you should. He's awesome. He has the same setup. He kind of helped me set mine up, and he plugs a lavalier mic into the Nikon, and it works fine. But I don't like relying on batteries. The whole point of this setup was that it would just be here, and I could just flip a switch and just work. So I don't want to do that. So what I did was I dug out something I'd bought several years back and used to use it. Now I don't use it anymore because it's not normally something I need. This is a Zoom recorder. So what's cool about the Zoom recorder is you can actually use it as more like an interface. So I can record, obviously, but what I'm doing, the way I made it work was I took my Zoom and I plugged the output, basically the line out, into the Nikon. So again, the audio is coming from the Nikon. But instead of using these mics, because I don't want to dangle the Zoom, well, that might have worked. I didn't try it. I happen to have this stuff, And so I've got this this SM, is it an SM94? So this is an SM94 condenser mic from Shure. So this is a pretty nice mic for this. It's focus. Anyways, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's not the ideal mic for this because I don't want to put it really close to me. It's in this kind of mic that you want to usually have close if it was on podium or something. So I'll have it over here. You may see one or two live streams or videos with this setup because I'm going to switch over to this after I record this. And it worked, because basically this into the Zoom is powering this with phantom power. The Zoom is going to get AC power. That's one of the things I ordered from Adorama, and that will go directly into my Nikon. So again, I just throw a switch. Everything's powered up. I can just run it. Works great. I actually have other microphones in the studio. That's one of the things I need to go in there and get. And I have one that's more probably appropriate for this, which when I use that one, switch over that one, I'll show you guys. So anyways, I was just made me think about how we pick up skills as we go through life, and those skills sometimes become really useful to us in the thing that we do, even though we don't necessarily think it will be. Like when I was setting up this audio thing to record, Brian's concert, as it would be, I was just thinking this is an awesome way to record, and I also was interested. I mean, I dabble in playing the guitar, and I thought, I could learn how to record stuff and blah blah, and that's one reason why I have the Zoom recorder. But now it's helping me in my business, the fact that I know how to do this. So yeah, take all the things that you do, every challenge that you get from a project, every little bit that you learn is going to help you kind of move forward as a photographer and become better at it, I guess, for lack of a better word. It's going to allow you to be a better photographer because of just the knowledge that you have. And again, when I first started, no photographer, I mean, maybe I wouldn't say no, but 99% of photographers didn't know anything about audio, and if they did, it was because they were a hobbyist that just enjoyed audio. Maybe they were a musician. They didn't need to learn audio for their job. Most of them didn't even know anything about video, It's like they didn't need to, and things didn't overlap the way they do nowadays. But now stuff overlaps, and it's great for us to learn as many different parts of the field as possible so we can use it to make ourselves more valuable. So there you go, guys. That's my thought for the day. Daily thought. I will try to I'm gonna try to post something pretty much every day that I can. So be on the lookout. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that and ring the bell, and then you'll get all the notifications when I actually do. Let me have some questions. Let's hear some comments. What's a skill that you guys have learned that was unexpected from being associated to photography? Like you wouldn't have thought you would ever need it or learn it, or maybe something that you know that just became very valuable to you as a photographer. Let me know that in the comments below, guys. Also, let me have some questions. If anybody's looking to do live streaming and stuff, I'm probably going to do a couple videos about the various things I have. I mean, this is pretty elaborate for live streaming. I say live streaming, but I mean just recording yourself and talking. It doesn't have to be live. Clearly, this is not live. So, anyways, guys, thanks again. Go ahead and ring the bell, blah, blah, like I said, and I'll see you next time.